Hello everyone, this is Retro Challenge Gamer, and I'm here with another end-of-year recap video log. I'll be playing a little bit of this while I'm talking over some points here. 2015 has been a crazy year with a record-breaking number of 346 videos posted. That's almost double the amount I normally post if 2013 and 2014 is anything to go by. In that span of time, we covered a lot of challenges. First up was finishing up my fun run of Myst 3 Exile, my realistic arsenal of Duke Nukem 3D, episodes 3 and 4. I beat that challenge for the first 3 episodes of the game, but episode 4 handed me my butt with the final level and the alien queen. I'm sure I would have been able to beat her and the level in one go if given enough time, but at that juncture, I was a bit tied up with real life to devote more time to the endeavor, which was unfortunate. Once completing the existing play series that carried over from 2014, I started up fast and furious with Buster-only no-death run of Mega Man 2, which I smashed through with surprisingly flying colors. There were a few worry spots, and there were at times points where I didn't think I'd be able to complete the challenge, but against all odds and the defeat of my previous Mega Man 1 hanging heavily over my head from last year, I won the day and successfully completed my first official canon game Mega Man with my challenge rules. I followed that up with a return trip to the Mega Man fan game Revenge of the Fallen. This time it was to defeat the uber hard mode that came included with the game by any means necessary. Once a few Robot Master weapons were acquired and a few upgrades under your belt, the game actually became quite easy, and hard mode was really no different than normal mode outside of a few exceptions. Around this time, I also started up my Twitch channel at Retro Challenge Gamer and began my first monumental task of beating Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion as a mage-only class, something I had never done before in any Elder Scrolls game to that date. To top things off, I added the obscure Oblivion overhaul and other mods to make it harder, eliminate level scaling, and just in general makes things harder on myself, not to mention choosing the Atronach birth sign, which negated magica regeneration. It was a fun series, but it also taught me the downfalls of Twitch streaming and how to better prepare and set up my settings for future streams and possibly get a better computer next time to run those more intensive games while streaming. What works fine on a laptop by itself doesn't necessarily apply when you add streaming to the mix on that very same laptop. Wanting a change of pace, I finally tackled one of my long-standing, all-time favorite games, Super Metroid. The challenge was to not only beat it under 3 hours, but to limit myself to just the item collection list indicated at the back of the Nintendo Power Strategy Guide for the game. The challenge stated it would be a hard and grueling feat to overcome, but I rose to the occasion and passed it with minimal difficulty. Around this time, I uploaded the first set of videos that was to make up Season 1 of Alchemy. We covered from the start of the game up until the defeat of Orochi. Since this is an incredibly long game and I'm also co-commentating with the wife, I decided it best to split the game up into 3 seasons. The challenge was to not utilize any praise to obtain upgrades, no sun fragment collections, or increasing my health in general, as well as limiting myself to 4 recovery items of each type, a la Secret of Mana style. This first season was real no hurdle to surpass since nothing really challenged my skill. The first third of the game is incredibly easy, and here is hoping the next third will bring harder challenges and up the difficulty for me. I also made a brief stop to do a fun indie run of Unraveled, a rather unique and endearing game that caught my eye earlier this year. Its gameplay is simplistic, but it's fun for what it is and doesn't overstay its welcome. I then went back doing Mega Man fan games with this oft-requested one of Mega Pony. I overshot myself and decided not to do just Buster only and no deaths but no E-Tank item usage as well. I did fairly well up until the final level with the rematches. Beating all 6 pony bosses plus the 2-part Discord battle was a bit much for my fingers to handle, and I had to admit defeat on this one. Although I had another Mega Man fan game to dive into, I wanted to step away and take a breather and play the rebooted Shadow Warrior game. My lack of knowledge at the start about how all the systems and upgrades worked ended up having me decided upon a rather simple challenge, sword only and organic weapons. No man-made weapons outside of those. And then no more than 3 pages of skills can be utilized and only 1/2 of each power skill tree can be used. This still had me being overpowered by the end of the game, and thus I beat the game without much difficulty. Next Shadow Warrior game that comes out in 2016, I'll be looking more in depth into all the upgrade systems and see how best I can challenge myself better. It was also at this time I started up a new stream endeavor with no attack magic, Secret of Mana, to which I'll be uploading the final parts in the first few weeks of 2016. It was a fun run, and one where I fully began to appreciate the multitude of defensive and buffing spells the girl has. I never gave half of those spells much credit until I forced myself to rely on them alone. It was a great, refreshing new way to play an old favorite. The final play series of the year was a dual combo of Mega Man fan games, Dr. Wily's Final Attack and Super Fighting Robot. I did my usual Buster only, no death, no E-Tank item usage run for both. The first game is quite easy, and I was very relieved to actually relax and enjoy a Mega Man game for once while doing a Buster only run. Super Fighting Robot, however, gave me a much greater challenge, but I won out in the end regardless. Both were super fun and I recommend them highly. So, whew! Now that the past year has been recapped in probably far greater detail than I've ever done in past video logs, it's time to look to the future in 2016. As per my log of personal family life and stuff, the pace will slow down considerably for my upload postings. However, I do have a few game series already finished and lined up for the beginning of the year. Almost after a year of promising, I will be posting up the fan-made Descent 2 mission campaign of The Enemy Within. It is the brainchild of, yet again, Dark Flame Wolf, but she had many other authors helping her to create this monstrosity. I will be doing a blind, cold start, no secrets, and custom weapon pack run of it. It was quite the ordeal, but I'm sure there are a few viewers out there that'd be interested in it. Somewhere in there, I'll also be uploading, finally, Chapter 6 of my wife co-commentary run of Sakura Wars So Long, My Love. We're slowly nearing the end of this massively long game with only 2 more chapters to go. My goal is to finally put this game to rest in 2016. Let's hope our schedules free up some so we can belt out the final few dozen videos and get the entire run up. It seems each year I have a new canon Mega Man game to tackle, and 2016 will be no different. This time I'll be doing Mega Man 3. Per the usual, I will be doing a Buster-only no-death run of the game, while utilizing all the other assets the game gives me to see if I can beat it without falling back onto my old crutches I used as a kid. I've also started up my 3rd stream project with the no Magicite and no Relic run of Final Fantasy VI. That's right, no status bonus upgrades with Magicite and no magic learning for anyone other than Terra or Celis. To compound this further, no utilizing cool relics such as the Genji Glove, Offering, Relic Ring, Sapphire Cape, etc. This should make this challenge much harder. Hopefully I can finish it next year and begin uploading it all first quarter 2016. Look forward to that one. And with the HD remake of Final Fantasy VII just around the corner, I've also started filming what will be the first season of PlayStation 1 version of the game, traveling from Midgard to Junon and Costa del Sol. Because of its massive nature, I plan on splitting it up much like Alchemy. The challenge here is one of my own design, class-based. Each character will be designated a specific classic Final Fantasy job class, and material will be specifically assigned to them to help support that job role. They will be unable to utilize any other material outside of what is acceptable for their class, so that should be a fun one to do. Outside of those mentioned, the rest are unfilmed as of right now and are just speculative projects, to include the popular indie visual novel game Katawa Shoujo, a controversial game in all respects, but one that has gotten a lot of cult following and attention, enough for me to actually look into the game and the actual visual novel game genre as a whole. Also up on the plate is the indie official commercial game of Freedom Planet, a Sonic fan game turned original franchise IP. Another wife co-commentary blind run of the popular game Life is Strange is also due up for next year. It caught my eye after the great Clement made a 6-hour-long video praising its glories, so I had to get it and check it out. I also hope to make and finish Season 2 of my co-commentated Alchemy run by the end of 2016 as well. Finally, I plan on playing a minimalist run of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time before the next New Year's. If I have time for anything else outside of these existing projects, it'll have to be squeezed in there somewhere, but for now, I'm not going to bite off more than I can chew next year so I can spend more time with family. To finish off this massive video log, I'm going to detail the hardest and easiest play series of the year 2015, as well as the most fun and least fun to play of 2015. The hardest game of the year actually goes to Mega Pony. I had more frustration and toil trying to even complete that challenge on every single level that it felt like I was training muscle memory twitches just to generate those knee-jerk movements needed to dodge some of the crazy things the game throws at you. It wins, hands down, as the hardest game I've had to LP this year. The easiest, however, had to be the Shadow Warrior 2013 reboot. I would have counted Season 1 of Alchemy, but since counting only a third of the game would be cheating, the easiest game rating goes to Shadow Warrior. It truly is just as easy to beat the game with just the sword only as it is with all the guns you have in your arsenal. The least fun I've had in the play series this year would also have to go to Mega Pony. As much as I'd love to like this game, its difficulty, even by fan game standards, is a bit over the top. And even when playing it normally and utilizing boss weapons and E-tanks, it still is a brutal challenge to complete. Now the game I had the most fun playing had to be Mega Man Super Fighting Robot. No Mega Man fan game has made me smile and enjoy myself in quite a while, even while doing a challenge run blind on it. If there's perfection for a fan game, I believe this one has almost achieved it. With that, we close another long year of gaming fun and look forward to a bright future of 2016 with more videos, more challenges, and more laughs. I hope you all come stick around with me to see what I'll challenge next. See you later.